Hey guys, it's the Bearded Red Viking. Hope you're all well. I'm back today with another contest entry. This time I am entering the contest that Johnny Mac from Rock&MetalPlus set a couple of weeks back. Been meaning to get these done for a while, but I've had a busy couple of weeks, so I'm a bit behind with the VC stuff. So apologies for taking so long to get it out, but I'm finally doing it now. So Johnny Mac has recently hit 250 subscribers. Done really well. I think he was at about 100 just before Christmas, and he shot up to 250 since then. So well done, Johnny. Nice one. Well deserved, mate. You've got a lot of stuff put up recently. I've noticed a lot of content coming out from your channel, all enjoyable. Plenty of good music on that channel. So if you don't know his channel, Rock&MetalPlus, I'll link it at the end. Make sure you check it out. And if you want to enter the contest as well, you can do so. He's just basically asked us to show our box sets, which I'm going to do in a moment. He's giving away a few CDs, a couple of cassettes, a vinyl record as well, I think. Really great prize, thank you, mate. So yeah, get your entry in. I think he's giving till the end of June, so check his channel out and have a look at the contest. Before we get started, just thought I'd introduce what we're listening to in the background. This is Into the Dark by Ancient Ascendant. Picked this up cheap from Vinyl Exchange a couple of years back. Not actually listened to it much, but liking the sound of it, thought I'd stick it on in the background. Extreme metal stuff. Recommended. Does say it's number 283 of 300, so it might be difficult to pick up, but if you like it, check them out. I'm sure you'll find them on the interwebs. So, thought I'd start off with the more mundane stuff. I've got some pretty cool stuff down here, and I've also got some just a couple of CDs in a box. So start with that. First up, it's an earache compilation, Metal, a Headbanger's Companion. And this came out in the mid 2000s, 2007. There's a death metal CD, grindcore CD, a metal and rock CD, industrial, punk and hardcore, and then a left field CD containing acts such as Cult of Luna, Ethel Duath, Scorn, Painkiller, Crotch Duster, and Akakoka. So it's just 6 CDs of the various different genres. I think the idea of them was to stick them on your MP3 player, because that was the thing at the time. I think it was about 7-8 quid for about 100 tracks. There we go, 100 plus tracks. So can't argue with that. Next up, Halloween with Treasure Chest, which contains Treasure Chest Disc 1 and Disc 2, which I think is just like a best of. And then you've got Buried Treasure, which is a bonus B-side disc. Picked this up when I was about 16. In fact, I can't have been 16 because it said it was 2002 it came out. So I was probably about 18 when I picked this up. Never known a great deal about Halloween. I've seen them at Bloodstock I was going to say a few years back now, it's more like 15 years back. 2008 I saw them. Highly entertaining. They're not one of my favourite bands in the world, but I've always enjoyed this box set. So yeah, those are the 2 CDs. To say, a bit of a best of. And then you've got Buried Treasure with some raries and B-sides on it. Released from Music for Nations, I think it was. Let's have a look. No, Metal Is Records. Okay, so we're moving on to the slightly more interesting stuff now. This is Black Sabbath, the complete 70s Replica CD collection. Now, I'm not normally the biggest fan of these multiple albums in one box, because I don't really like the packaging. I like a full jewel case or a full digipack or whatever, but I thought these were pretty cool. I bought these. It's the first 8 Sabbath albums, the first 8 with Ozzy from back in the 70s, all in this one box. All miniature LP replicas, which is what I like about them. They're a bit different, they're pretty cool. So it's all the first 8 albums, the original Black Sabbath, and they are replicas of the original LPs. So if it was a gatefold, it's a gatefold. If it wasn't, it's just a normal sleeve. But they're all little mock records. I think that's pretty cool. So I think it was, I can't remember how much it was. I bought this years ago. I don't remember it being particularly expensive. I think it was good for the fact that it got eight full Black Sabbath albums in there. So that's Black Sabbath. You know, you've got Paranoid, another gatefold. Again, same with the CD. It looks like a record. This is slightly different packaging, bit unusual. I'm guessing this is what the LP was like back in the day, because that's what it says on the tin. And we got a fold out poster, which I'm guessing you got back in the 70s as well, which is cool. The Dudes in the Forest, volume 4, and that's got a little booklet attached to the inside. Say booklets, 2 pages, just an extra gatefold. Tony, Ozzy, Geezer and the Dudes. And you've got Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, of course. Next up, another gatefold. Sabotage, which is just bog standard. And you've got Technical Ecstasy, which has got an insert. They're normally a bit like this, these sets, but I thought the fact that it was replicas of the old LPs, I don't know, set it apart for me. But the inner sleeve with artwork on it for Never Say Die, and that's the box set. Apart from there's a little photo book at the back as well, with pictures of the Dudes in action. Cool pictures. I won't show you all of them, but you get the idea. So that's pretty cool. That's Black Sabbath. What should we do next? We'll go with this. This is a blast from the past. This is Tool. This is Salival or Salival. Not sure exactly how you say it, but saliva, but with an L on the end. Salival. Something is salival. A describing word. Is that an adjective? I get all that mixed up. No idea. Anyway, so the reason why I say it's a throwback, the artwork's cool. I remember having a t-shirt with this on when I was 17. It was about the time when I picked this up. It's got a VHS in it. So, if I remember correctly, it's just a couple of music videos on here. I think Stinkfist is on here. That might be it. I can't remember. I've not had a VCR for a few years now, so it's a while since I've watched it. But the artwork's pretty cool. And it comes with a CD as well, which is live stuff. And then you've got a picture booklet on the inside with the Dudes and the creepy artwork as always. Standard Tool stuff. But yeah, thought that was pretty cool, a bit different. Comes in this plasticky outer pack. Next, we've got one I showed fairly recently, so I won't open this too much, but this is the Long Road North. It's the latest album by Cult of Luna. Comes with a patch, download code, lyric book. It's got a slip mat in there, a few art prints, variations of the cover art, and then it's got the album itself on double LP in some nice inner sleeves. I'll quickly pop that back away. As I say, showed that fairly recently on my birthday pickups video. So it was back in February, but it seems quite recent to me. Next is something a bit different. This is really my introduction to rock music in general, was this band. This is Manic Street Preachers with the Holy Bible. Now, you think of Manic Street Preachers these days, you think boring, middle-aged, bedwetting indie shite. But not, back in the day, their first few albums were brilliant. Hard rock. First album was quite punkish with a bit of Guns N' Roses glam to it. Second album was less popular, Gold Against the Soul, but that was full of guitar anthems. Absolutely brilliant lead guitar work on that album, as far as I'm concerned. And then they brought this out, which is an absolute monster. It's one of the darkest, most horrible albums I have ever heard in my life. I got it when I was about 13, 14 years old, and it blew me away. I didn't know what the fuck I was listening to. It's horrible, but it's brilliant. This was the 20th anniversary box set from, would have been 2015. So it contains the album on vinyl. You might recognise the artwork if you know anything about mnemonics. I remember seeing that in our price when I was a kid and thinking, why would you have that on the album cover? It's a bit disturbing. Now I know why. It's a disturbing album. So yeah, you got the album on CD as well. There's an American remix because they remixed it for the American audience. And then there's some live stuff. There's a documentary, DVD as well. And yeah, then the album on black vinyl. As well as that, it comes with a booklet with the scribbles and scribings of Richie Edwards, who, if you know anything about the band, was the tortured soul who was listed as the rhythm guitarist in the band, but he never played a note on any album. He couldn't play. A bit of a Sid Vicious character in that sense. He was there to look cool on stage, but he also wrote most of the lyrics, and he was the soul of the band, really. He died, well, he disappeared in 1995, and after that they changed into what they have now become over a course of time. A couple of albums at the late 90s, I quite enjoyed them. They were just indie rock, but I don't mind a bit of indie rock, as long as it's not the kind of stuff that they're doing these days, because that is awful. But yeah, it's just got some sort of set lists, some of the lyrics. A lot of the lyrics were written while Richie, the guy I've just been talking about, was in rehab. He was anorexic, he was suicidal, and the lyrics are along those lines, but he also was very philosophical. He was into a lot of philosophers and literature. He was a very well read guy, very intelligent guy, tortured soul, and this was his masterwork in terms of the lyrics, and it inspired the direction of the album. The music's really dark, the lyrics match. Brilliant album. Not metal at all, but it's probably darker and more disturbing than a hell of a lot of metal albums are these days. So if you have any interest in something like that, give it a go. If you've heard the Mnemonics and think they're terrible, give that a go, see what you think. You might be surprised. Right, so what have we got now? We're getting on a bit here, so I'll try and rush through a bit. We've got Nirvana with the Lights Out, which is a box set that came out in about 2002, 2003. I think it was 2003, might have been 2004. Just a number of CDs with, I think there's one that's basically the best of, and then there's rare and unusual rarities, shall we say. Yeah, you've got disc 1. In fact, no, this is all. They did bring out a best of at the same time, but this was the companion piece to it, so it's not actually a best of at all. It's just a load of rare stuff, like live performances, demos, acoustic solo performances, and then there's a DVD with some live stuff and some candid recordings of Kurt just playing a lot of the stuff that he was working on when he was a teenager and a bit older. And then you've got a bit of the history of the band in a book, some pictures and some descriptions and some lyrics. Standard fare you get in these box sets, but this is actually really fascinating. There's lots of really interesting stuff in that book. Obviously you tend to get a book of some sort in a box set, and that's Nirvana with the Lights Out. Next, a band that were very much put up against them by the media back in the 90s. You probably can't see anything there because it looks pretty blacked out. There is an embossed version of the logo, but I'll stop you guessing. It's Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction Deluxe box set. It's not the Super Deluxe box set, which was insane and had about 100 CDs and a load of booklets and LPs and all sorts of crazy stuff. A set of drawers which contained rings of the band, the skulls on the front of the album. This artwork, rings of those. There was also pendants of them. And yeah, so this is the non-super duper deluxe version, but it's still pretty awesome. Loads of flyers and posters and stuff from the band around the time of the debut album came out. Loads of interesting stuff to read in here. I think it was about 160 quid it came out at when it was first released, the RRP for it. I picked it up for 45 quid I think it was on EMP, but I had a discount code so I got it for like 35 quid. I was well chuffed. So yeah, again, standard, loads of pictures, loads of stories about what the band were getting up to, loads of paraphernalia, and then at the back you got CD1, CD2, CD3, CD4, and then you've got a Blu-ray audio disc. Don't know why you'd want a Blu-ray audio disc, but I've got one. So yeah, CD1 is the remastered version of Appetite for Destruction. CD2 is B-sides and EPs. So it's got the Live Like a Suicide EP on there and GNR Lies. And you've got a 1986 Sound City Session, which is unreleased, a CD3. And then 1986 Sound City Session and More is CD4. And then you've got the Blu-ray audio version of the album. I don't know why you'd want Blu-ray audio, but hey, someone obviously does somewhere. And you've got bonus tracks, Shadow of Your Love, which came out a few years ago, probably around when this came out. Some music videos. And then you've got the confidential LAPD case file, which is a load of paraphernalia, Replica gig ticket, another Replica gig ticket, another Replica gig ticket, a little note regarding the artist who did the cover art. You got some stick-on tattoos, which I shall not be sticking on. Replica poster for one of their gigs back in the day. Some art prints of the dudes. An awesome fold-out poster of the original artwork. And then a massive fold-out poster of the band. Classic shot. Try and fold that up without ruining it. There we go. Okay, we are getting on a bit. Apologies that I'm taking so long here, but I've got a lot I wanted to show you. So, next, Eddie's Archive. It's a bit of a rarity, I believe. Came out in 2002. I bought it on the day it came out. It's in a metal box. And basically, what it is a couple of CDs, 3 CDs. You've got Best of the B-sides, with Eddie bearing his arse. Load of stuff from the B-side of their singles up until, I believe, the Blaze Bayley era, and including. You've got the BBC archives, which is a load of live sessions from the BBC from back in the 80s. And then you've got Beast Over Hammersmith, live from Hammersmith Odeon. It also comes with a very delicate little shot glass with this pewter base. We've got Eddie with his bright red eyes. And then you've got an Iron Maiden family tree wrapped up in another little pewter Eddie ring. And then basically it just shows you the history of the band and the other bands that they've been associated with over the years, and how they all connect back to Iron Maiden. And it was a limited edition, and at the bottom you've got the number. I've got number 4341. I believe they reissued it a year or so later, or a few months later. I'm not 100% sure exactly when they reissued it without the number, but I've got the original edition, so that's nice to have. And then finally, I know Johnny Mac showed his DVD version, which I also have because I don't have a VCR anymore, as I've already said. But I bought this back in 2001, maybe 2002, and it was my absolute grail at that point in time, and I'm so happy I've got it still now. It's Live Shit, Binge and Purge. Absolutely classic live album, more than just a live album. So you've got the CD, 3 CD, it's Mexico City from 1992, I think it was. Sorry, in February 1993. So it's 3 CD, Mexico City show, when Metallica were putting on like 3.5 hour long performances in the round. Then we got a booklet with a load of stuff, pictures, storyboards, a load of letters and memos from the management of the band and stuff like that. A load of live photos. Really cool book. And then you've got 2 shows across 3 VHS tapes. So you've got Live in Seattle from 1989, which contains the fastest version of Whiplash you will ever hear. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely classic show, brilliant set list. And then again, they've got a video version of a similar show to the Mexico City one that we've got in the audio of these 2. It's got a little 20-minute Metallica movie at the start of it, and then you've got the epic 3-hour long set. And you've also got a Replica Snake Pit pass from the tour. And that's it. There was a stencil in here of the Scary Guy, this dude on the front there. I used it years ago to spray him on an old guitar case of mine. Used to play a lot of electric guitar. Sadly gave up good few years back when I joined the band and became a vocalist, and I just didn't play guitar anymore, so I got rid of all my guitars. I regret it now. I'd like to pick it back up, but hey ho, I've done what I've done. So yeah, absolute classic box set there. That's me done. I'm sure you'll be glad to hear, because I've done nearly 25 minutes. Apologies, but I had a lot to show. So thank you very much for watching. As I say, if you want to check out Johnny Mac's channel, Rock&MetalPlus, I'll put a link just here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for your time. Make sure you take a look at his video and get yourself entered into the contest if you're interested. I don't see why you wouldn't be. Thanks again, Johnny. Thanks, guys. Beardy Red Viking, out.